Hey guys, GameBoy3800 here once again, and today I am giving you another case unboxing. Hopefully this case arrives slightly less damaged than the one you saw before, the Thermaltake V3 AMD edition. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Let's unbox this. This is the red version to match the AMD build system thing I have going on. So here's the top open. There we go. You can see inside the case that it is bright red. The foam is really thick. Hopefully that means it survived in one piece. Unlike the metal binding and splintering of the last one. So tilting this up. And taking it out. That's what it looks like so far. Toss the box to the side. And lifting it up like so. Throwing the film inside the box to save it for later. Yeah, this foam is in much better shape than the Thermaltake. It's softer too. And you did not see the Thermaltake foam, but it was all cracked and beaten up. Unlike this, which is in perfect shape. And taking a quick glimpse at it, it seems to be all good. At least that's what I'm hoping for. Plastic off. It sounded like I had a loose screw in this, so that's fine. It's definitely no bent up and battered side panel. It's got one mark on the side panel, but it can be easily rubbed out, I think, with some rubbing alcohol. Because it's not a scratch, it's just a surface mark. You can see it. There, I think. I hope. I don't know where it is on the camera, but you probably saw it. The front door is held on by magnets. It's got a front door, as seen here. And it does not look like you can swap the sides, so I guess that's one downside. It's also kind of flimsy, but it's not an expensive NGXT Phantom case. It's got a USB 2 and a USB 3, power, reset, and some lights, and some audio. The left side panel is popped out to give you lots of room for cable management, which is really good. Let's see what the back side looks like. This has 7 PCI slots, so 4-way, no, not 4-way, 3-way SLI compatible. Or Crossfire, I guess, if that's your thing. Side panel is kind of stuck on there. Hopefully this means it's not bent and battered. Oh no, it just came right off. Wow. Wow, that is quality. Look. No, I mean legit quality. It does not bend at all. Even when putting a lot of torque on it. Well, torque what? Even when putting a lot of pressure up against it, it does not bend at all. What about the other side panel? Oh, I see. It was just one of the front drive things. It came undone somehow in the packing. Whatever. I was going to take it off anyways because it's hard drive stuff. And this one has a little bit more flex, but not as much. Not as much as one of my bigger panel is, and certainly not as much as the thermal take as from before. It's got water cooling grommets on the back here that are all good. No other grommets though, that's all I give you. And the only fan they include is the 120mm fan on the back. The front looks like it can support either an 80 or 120. As is the back, it can have an 80 or a 120 somewhere up there. Yep. It's got a really big CPU backplate opening for Intel and AMD, I guess. And the top is punched out to give you some more room. And for some reason, either this is left over from manufacturing or something else, but there's a little rubber thing. If I had to guess, it would be for the power supply. And I'm right. I see where it goes. Just needs to be re-glued, and it should be good. Once the power supply is in there, it will not move. At first I thought it was for a fan thing up top, but I guess not. And it looks like with the fan you have two ways to power it up. As soon as I get this twist tie off of it, you can power it up either using a 3-pin or a Molex. That's pretty cool. However, I'm not going to be using this fan. I'm going to be using some of my own, what do you call them, shark fans from Aerocool. That's what they're called. They're these fans. Lots of blades to give lots of airflow. Because the system I'm having in here is AMD. And AMD is hot. And let's see what's in this little baggie. And looks like there's actually 2 bags inside the baggie. Or 2 bags worth of bags inside the bag, I don't know. The case is pretty light for what it is. And it looks thick thanks to the front end. So, user's manual. You have some cable management twist things in here. That's unique. I've never seen those in a case like this before. The speaker for the motherboard. And interruption. Okay, interruption is gone, and here's the bag. It's got some zip ties, some screws, some motherboard standoffs, even though they already include the standoffs in this. So that's pretty good. So more standoffs in case you have a different size motherboard, like a MATX or Mini ITX, or I guess an eATX. It can support 2 because it's got the extra long screws. Cool. And then it's also got some washers for some of the other screws. Not entirely sure why they're there, but whatever. On the Thermaltake V3, the back I/O area was super flimsy and looked like it would break under any kind of pressure, like by 1 pound. And it's all firm, rigid, and not moving at all. Here's the front I/O connections. And a big anti-liquid thing bag. That's not safe to eat, so don't eat it. And then the front panel I/O include a USB 3, HD audio, and a USB 2. And then the usual power switch stuff. What is the bottom panel like? Is it flimsy like the Thermaltake? Oh, that is rigid as a rock. Just like the side panels and other main info. So overall, this case is solidly built. The only downside I can see is the front door being flimsy, like that. But it does stay on with some pretty good magnets, so it's not like it's going to open up and shipping and break off. And other than that, it looks pretty sick. Now it's just time to see what it looks like with the system built in it. I'll get right back to you when that's all fine and dandy. Alright, this is what the build looks like inside. I have a fan on the left panel, and I will put that on and show you what that looks like once it's all built up. But first, let's power up. There we go. I had two major issues with this case. Number one, at least with this motherboard combo and case motherboard combo, the top fan here, only one of them will fit. This one will not fit at all. Mainly because of the CPU power connector, it gets in the way. And even installing one of these thin 120mm fans, it just couldn't be done. I could screw it in, but then it would get in the way of the power cords and just get caught and stop. So yeah. The second one, and this was a major one, is that the 11 inches of clearance, as advertised on both Newegg and the Raidmax website, was a lie. It's more like 10 inches. I had to go in with a Dremel and make two cuts to let this video card fit. Granted, you can't see them, and it actually does look pretty sick how it is right now, but you can see right there I did have to make a cut, actually. Where'd my flashlight go? Here it is. There we go. You can see a cut I made there, and then I chopped off like one of these folds you see right here. I chopped one of those off from the drive thing so it would have the clearance. And also, I had the question, why is there that heatsink there? Could have had a PCIe 16X and made it so I wouldn't have to do this cut down here at all. And also, this cable management will be fixed before I sell it out. And I will mention that it is like that with the cuts. But the other issue with the top clearance is that it would not accept the 120mm radiator, even in push or pull. Like, push-pull, no way, definitely not. Pull, you know, you think I have a chance with push, but no. With this motherboard, once again, the memory cards are too close to the top. That fan is already almost touching. So, no water cooling in this case, and I tried to fit a 140mm fan because it has support for either dual 120s or a single 140 in the center, and that didn't work either. It still touched the CPU power. So, unless your memory or CPU are both moved down some, or the CPU power is like more to the center, then you cannot use the top fans for water cooling. And even as it is, for me, one of the top fans can't even be used. However, with this combo, and it seems like it has enough clearance here, looks like you could get an H80i GTX, no problem. That's a thick 120mm rad, and it'll work. And as you can see, the tubes do not interfere with that top fan. I probably could put a screen protector thing on it, but you know. Or like a mesh cover, but you know. I don't know how much effect that will truly have. And yeah, that's about it. This case is pretty sick. It looks amazing. I'll get the side panel fan on and see if it's got the clearance here. I'm pretty sure it will. It'll help cool off the MSI GTX, not GTX, the MSI R9 390X. Because the 390X, like the 290X, is hot. In fact, it's even hotter than the other one. But yeah, I'll get the side panel on and give you my final words if I have any. Alright, here's what it looks like in the dark. You can see inside. The front panel looks pretty sick. And then, I did have one issue where it seems like this fan's running all the way. And I guess that's either the issue or something else. The display driver keeps crashing on me. I think it needs to be reinstalled. Either that or I killed the card, even though, you know, I did work on the case and not the card. Yeah. I don't know why it's doing that. I don't have VSR on, but it keeps stopping and crashing. If you have a solution, please send. Thanks, Game Boy Out. See you next time.